What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and today I have a little bit of an update video for you on the PPL. Real quick, I just want to let you know I'm not at home. That's why the lighting is so bad. That's why you're probably going to hear dogs whimpering in the background because they're like sitting right next to me. I have to stay in a hotel for a couple days. It's a very, very bad circumstance, but you know, family shit happens. However, I'm still going to try to get some PPL matches out to you, maybe a showdown session, because this is a break week. Week 3 is delayed a little bit because of EGX. But the main reason of this video is to let you guys know that some transfers happened on my team. If any of you talk to me about my team, you already know what I did. If you follow the PPL on Twitter, you already know what I did. You're going to hate me. I apologize, but you know, shit happens. I didn't like Mew. So, spoiler alert. As you guys know, I did have Mew on the team. Mew is a Pokemon that is so beyond versatile that it's impossible to predict for most people. I have no problem predicting what it can do just because you find a hole that your opponent has, slap Mew in, and you're good. However, I felt that Jirachi is something that I would prefer to bring more than Mew for a couple different reasons. Jirachi can be stally, it can be haxy, it can be fast, it can be hard hitting, it can be a stealth rock setter, it can be a status spread, it can be literally everything that a Mew can be, minus like a Will-O-Wisp hazard removal. And I like Jirachi more. I like what it can do. I like the fact that I have more chances to like flinch. I like that I have stab Iron Head. Like, there's so much more that I like about Jirachi than Mew. Plus, there comes a point in time when I had to look at my team and I had to be like, okay, where would I find it necessary for me to actually bring this thing? I need a Defogger. Okay, I have Crobat. I need hazard removal and period. Okay, I have Sandslash and Crobat. I don't need it. I need a Will-O-Wisper. Well, I prefer Thunder Wave. I prefer slowing things down and then pissing people off. Not pissing people off. That sounds really mean. I prefer slowing people down and then beating them at their own game. Stealth Rock Setter. I have Clefable, Jirachi, Sandslash. I think there's one more that I'm forgetting on my team that sets up rocks. I don't need it for rocks. I don't. Aside from that, like a Baton Pass, I don't like Baton Pass. That's not my style. My style isn't offense, baton passing, and sweeping. My playstyle is massive bulk. So, in all reality, yes, Mew is fucking amazing. I will never deny that. Never once will I say that Mew is bad. Mew is worse than Jirachi. However, what I will say is that for my team, Jirachi's better. And because of the redundant typing, I did not need it. So, Mew went bye-bye. And instead, actually, I'm going to go over what I dropped. Because I had to drop 2 Mons to pick up the first Mon that I wanted, and then I had to go in and I was like, well, I have like 5.5 million left over. Let me pick up another Mon. So another thing that I dropped was Magneton. The reason for me dropping Magneton was simply because it's a 4 times weakness to ground. Yes, spoilers, I'm picking up other ground weaknesses. But this thing isn't fast enough. It doesn't hit hard enough in my opinion. It's not what I want in an electric type. I don't want electric types to have 4 times weaknesses. Another thing I don't want is I don't want something that if I have to scarf it for it to be fast. Like Jirachi, for example. I don't have to scarf it to be fast. I can be base 100 and still be fast and outspeed like base 95s, because the majority of the things on people's teams won't be running max speed because they speed creep, and then the rest of them are like base 100 and lower. Every single team has like 2 base 100 or higher, maybe 3. I have 2 right now with Crobat and Virizion. So with that being said, I didn't really want this thing. I don't need Volt Switch Initiative. The one game I brought it, I didn't even click Volt Switch. Like, that's how much my team doesn't need Volt Switch. It needs bulk, it needs reliable switch-ins, it needs recovery, it needs things like that. Granted, this has none of that. It can be switch-in, but slap Hidden Power Ground on something. I'm screwed. Slap Earthquake on something. I'm screwed. So, at the same time, Magneton also had to go bye-bye. And the first Mon that I knew I wanted to pick up This is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. This is going to be like, okay, Kelly, you're on crack. And you know what? I am. No, I'm actually not, but it's... I decided to pick up Mega Houndoom. The reason being is I didn't have a fire type or a dark type. Knockoff really hurts me. I don't have a lot of priority, and I don't have a lot of setup options. Granted, I don't really play setup. However, this thing is fantastic whenever you look at calcs. Like, on paper, it doesn't look good. On paper, you see, okay, it gets Dark Pulse and Flamethrower. The occasional Sludge Bomb. Big freaking deal. However, it has a base 115 speed, which outspeeds a lot, along with priority Sucker Punch. So, if at any point in time I think there's a Scarfer that's on low health, Sucker Punch, dead. It's amazing. It has a really good ability in Solar Power. All I have to do, slap Sunny Day on something. This thing nukes everything with... I don't even need to run Fire Blast in the sun. Timid Solar Power Flamethrower does so much damage in the sun, it's insane. So I don't even need to run Fire Blast if I'm doing that. It's so freaking amazing, the kind of power that this thing has. There are very few things that want to switch it on both fire and dark type stab. Also, I'm really sorry about this light right here. I'm really sorry. I'm going to try to make that dim somehow in editing, but if I can't, I really do apologize. Anyway, so yeah, this thing happened. I'm actually really happy that this happened because I have big plans for this. Huge plans. There are so many teams that are weak to Mega Houndoom. And if you think your team isn't weak to Mega Houndoom, that's fine. I don't have to bring it. I've done fine without it these first two matches. Like, it's just this thing gives me the power that I need for me to finish off teams. Like how I had to rely on low power Pokemon to finish off other Pokemon. What I can do, I can scald everything to death with my Melodic, get it below like 40%, send this thing in, Flamethrower or Dark Pulse everything, and it dies. So that's that. So after that, I started looking at the teams, and I started looking at what people could be bringing against me, started looking at what people could do to me, and for my future weeks, I realized that hazards hurt my team. Not as much as other people think, but I personally think they hurt my team a lot. So, things like Drapion, that it actually got traded to my next opponent. Like, there's so many things that could run hazards, hazard stack, Roserade with spikes I already faced. So, like, he saw the weakness that my team had to hazards, and I wanted a way to counter it. I mean, yeah, Rapid Spin and Defog is a really good counter. Don't get me wrong. However, the way that I like to stop hazards, also, I might shake the table on accident. Sorry. The way I like to counter hazards is hazard stacking of my own. And the best hazard stacker that was left, because honestly, there's only a couple of them that are really good in my opinion. I don't like Ferrothorn or Fortress because of 4 times weakness to fire. I also somewhat like Skarmory, but I don't need it. I don't need the steel typing. I don't need another redundant typing. However, I did grab another similar typing that I already had, but the other one is not used for this typing. It's used for what it can spam. So what I decided to do is I actually decided to grab Garbodor. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Kelly, why do you have Shoddy on your team? I was like, well, you know, Shoddy's good sometimes. My dog's like... Anyway. Garbodor has a couple really unique things. Toxic Spikes hurt my team a lot. So, it's like, I need a poison type that's on the ground. I wanted Weezing really, really bad because I've used it before. I like it. I like the way it works. I like everything about Weezing. However, it's not on the ground. It can't soak up Toxic Spikes. It can't set up spikes too. It can't have fighting coverage to help take out things like Lucario that could maybe try to switch in an EQ. Like, there's a lot of things that I think this Garbodor can do. Granted, it's not the best. I realize it's not the best. However, it can do some very, very, very good rolls. To be honest, also, you can probably hear the fan going in the background. I do apologize. Like I said, this hotel is really making things difficult for me. But this is also kind of a fairy check, because I have multiple fairy checks. Fairies are very scary in this league. Fairies are something that are a massive threat in league format in general. Calmine Sylveon, Clefable, which I have, Mega Gardevoir, which I already faced. So if anybody wants to, like, say, pick up a Azumarill, I want to check to it. This thing has pretty good abilities in Stench and Aftermath. So if, like, say, I'm in a tough spot, and a Mega Charizard X, which also got picked up, by the way, except it was by Ruby, who I faced last week. Say like a Mega Charizard X, for example, is just running rampant, making holes in my team, everything. It's done 2 Flare Blitzes, it's taking a lot of damage. Send this thing in Aftermath, it kills it, just because it could be at a low amount of health. So it could be a very good check or counter that way. Also to Life Orb Sweepers, it's very good at just stopping that with Aftermath. So those were the 2 trades that I made. I realize they're not the best. 2 ground weaknesses, even though I traded a ×4 weakness. However, I needed Mega Houndoom. And then once I realized how bad hazards hurt my team, I needed something that could soak up Toxic Spikes. I just needed it. If I didn't grab it up, everything that could possibly get Toxic Spikes would be using Toxic Spikes against me. It's how it is. And I realized it, and I needed to fix it. So, with that being said, like, I don't know how it works if Crobat used Roost and is on the ground. It's a good question. I'll have to figure that out. If so, then I wasted 4 million. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this long update video. It's like almost 12 minutes. Holy crap. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you leave a like down below. Leave a comment about what you think about my transfers. I realize a lot of you guys aren't going to like them. I'm okay with it. I like them. I love my team. It's fantastic. Also, hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.